7:30 has been, 6:30 has been duly posted for the rules and regulations of the state of Texas. We do have a quorum present. We'll have each and every one of you to our board meeting tonight. Feel free to come back at any time. Ms. Merrick, will you offer an invocation, please?
I sure will, thank you. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this night. We thank you for our students, our staff, our community. We thank you for the blessings you continue to bestow upon this great school district and this great community. We ask that you just always provide us with the strength, the courage, the wisdom, the right judgment as we make decisions for our students. We ask that you keep all of our families, our students, our staff safe during this holiday season, and just bring them back ready to learn and ready to proceed into the rest of the year. We thank you for all of your blessings that you bestow and continuously on us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
You have some guests that are going to pledge.
Yes, I do. We've got two students, both from Plum Creek Elementary. First is Ellie Grice. Ellie, will you come on up? Ellie is the daughter of Justin and Katie Grice, and Ellie is a second grade student at Plum Creek Elementary. Ellie loves cheerleading, drawing, and playing outside. Ellie's teacher, Mrs. Hoffman, says Ellie is an enthusiastic learner who shows initiative and strives to be her best. Her vibrant smile and positive energy lights up any room she walks into. Let's give Ellie a round of applause. We're going to call your next pledge leader up. And the next one is Lila Howard. Lila is the daughter of Austin and Priscilla Howard, and she is also a second grade student at Plum Creek Elementary. Lila loves playing softball, drawing, and making crafts, and loves animals. Lila's teacher, Mrs. Hoffman, says Lila exhibits a positive outlook and attitude in everything she says and does. She is committed to being her personal best in school, in sports, and at home. Let's give Lila a round of applause. And if everyone will rise as these two young ladies lead us in the pledge, and we're going to turn to the right over here. Girls, our flags over there. Ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Joshua ISD will be a highly acclaimed model of educational excellence.
Let's give these young ladies. Thank you, ladies. Great job.
Good job.
Okay. Moving into the superintendent's report.
Yes, sir. So in our workshop, a little bit too loud. Okay, in our workshop, we reviewed our enrollment report, attendance report, our ADA report, child nutrition report, property tax collection, monthly financial reports, our monthly and year-to-date status of special revenue funds, our quarterly cash and investment report, our check register, and our police department report. We also reviewed our JISD calendar of events. Now we've got our fall athletic scorecard. So this is every December, our athletic department reports the scorecard for the fall events. What our scorecard represents is, in one glance, we can look and see where those areas of improvement need to be and what those action plans need to be. So we've got our head coaches for our fall sports, and we're going to start with tennis, correct?
Hi, I'm Doug Petcom, the head boys and girls tennis coach. This past fall, we won one tennis match in district, which is one more than we won last season. So we were also very close in another match with Summit. So I felt like we're progressing in the right direction. JV also won a match, and they're very close to two others as well. So we've had what's so-called spring match already, and we won the consolation final and mixed, place 3 in the quarterfinals, 2 in the semis. So I think we're heading in the right direction. We don't have any seniors, so everybody I have is coming back. So I'm looking forward to us having a really good spring to really jumpstart us into the fall team tennis season next year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm Coach DeArmond, I'm the head football coach. Start off with, one of the things that we talked about last year was changing our middle school conference and trying to get into a more competitive league, and that's one thing that we did. And you can see we had improvement in our middle schools. Our Laughlin Middle School competed for championship, ended up getting beat, so they ended up second. And then Nichols ended up sixth in their conference match. One thing that also happened is we transferred those 8th graders up to the 9th grade. We had success with our 9th grade. Started off the season, they were 5-0, then hit a couple bumps along the way. One being grades, and ended up season 5-4. JV ended up 1-9. JV season's always going to be tough because you always try to take the best that you can and move them up to the varsity, and it makes that sub-varsity team a little scarce when you don't have depth. So hopefully with the increase in numbers from the middle schools up, our depth will increase, which will make us more competitive. With the varsity guys, we ended up with 2-8. Actually, last year we were 3-7, so we were 2-8 this year. But we ended the season with a higher ranking than we did the year before because we played in the 5th hardest district in the state of Texas. I think these numbers tell a tale, but I also think that it leaves some things out. And one of the things that it leaves out is how the kids compete every single week. And one of the things that we're always going to work to be is the most mentally and physically tough group of kids out there on the field, and always be fighting to the very end of the game. And if you were at any of the games, hopefully you saw that. You saw us fight to the very end. A couple of games we should have won, I felt like. We let some things get in the way. Goal is to make sure that doesn't happen anymore. I've talked to a bunch of the kids. I'm having player evals. And one of the things that almost every single kid has said is they want to beat Burleson next year, they want to beat Seguin, and then we want a trip to the playoffs. So we have a vision, the kids are talking about it, we're headed in the direction that we want to. I'm very excited about what we're doing, very excited about the mentality of the kids. I think our program is headed in the right direction. And you know, you're only as good as your last game. And we beat Corsicana 35-28, so Ms. Merrick, we got you a win going out.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Sorry, I came straight from All County Pictures, so sorry I am late. Okay, so this year it was a sad ending, but I'm still super proud of these girls' first time not making playoffs in 4 years, and we only missed it by a total of 8 points when you add it up toward a couple of our 5-game losses. We ended 5th in the district. We were in it till the very end. It was winner goes, losers out, and we lost a really tough match in 5 to end our season. I do have 14 returners next year, so I am super excited to see what we can do. I have a really strong core group coming. We were really young this past year. I had 4 freshmen, 5 sophomores, and I had 6 juniors, so I'm super excited with the group that's coming back. My JV finished 2nd. My freshmen finished 3rd and 2nd. Laughlin and Nichols, 8th grade. Nichols finished 1st and Laughlin finished 2nd. Very proud of them. I got to go watch them in the Lone Star district tournament at the end, and both of our A teams were in the championship playing each other. So that was really fun to watch them battle again for that overall championship. Nichols ended up winning that game, and our 7th grade teams were 7, 6, and 3. And then our 7th grade teams at Nichols were 3rd, 5th, and 2nd. So we have some really good groups coming up. I'm really excited where the program's headed. We've already been training off-season at the high school level. We're doing weights, we're doing skills, and we are about to start our leadership book studies to make sure that we're growing these girls as productive citizens and teaching them how to be leaders as well. So, thank you.
Craig Bethel, girls cross country. If you look along, you see green, 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 and then this year, we slipped down to a little yellow. The varsity girls were 6th, the JV girls were 5th. We had one senior on the team this year. She was academic all-state first team, so nothing to shake your head with that. One girl qualified for the regional meet, and she's a freshman. This year we had 3 freshmen, 2 sophomores, a junior, and a senior on varsity, so we're really young. If you look down at LMS and Nichols, their 8th grade were 2nd in their district. Got a lot of good runners. In fact, quite often we go to Chisholm Trail Park and run. We invite the junior high along with us so they can work out with us. They are a talented group coming forward, so hopefully we'll get better and more productive. Thank you.
So I'm Jeff Brooks, boys cross country. You could pretty much rinse and repeat what Coach Bethel just said. We won district the last 2 years, then graduated the house, finished 6th this year in a really good district, but a lot of green after that. Both middle school programs did very well. Our JV did pretty well, and we have one senior also. So on the boys' side, that's tough sledding. When you run a bunch of 14-year-olds against 18-year-olds, but that's all excuses. We're going to be better, and one of the things that I really appreciate from Coach DeArmond, kind of like Coach Bethel was saying, we had a slew of middle schoolers come join us, and it's really nice that the dual sport athletes we're getting more of those. There was a lull that we're kind of reaping the whirlwind from, where that was not as encouraged at the middle school level. And so, man, we're just thrilled with the numbers we had there and the quality as well. But really appreciate you guys, and we're going to be better next year.
That's it. Okay, thank you, Athletic Department.
Thank you.
Okay, and now we've got our campus presentation from Plum Creek Elementary. Ms. Green.
Hi. Thank you for having me tonight. We're glad you guys are here. We are going to showcase a book study that we are doing with all of our students. In each classroom, we've got a book called Inch and Miles, The Journey to Success. And basically what this says, I'm just going to read, I promise I'm not going to read it all to you. I'm just going to read a small part. This is basically the gist of the entire book. It says, success isn't having trophies or toys. It isn't a medal or friends of your choice. What is success? That's easy to see. It's trying to be the best you can be. Don't worry what others might have or have said. When trying your best, success comes your way. So what this book does is it celebrates character traits. So we've got some of our kiddos are going to tell you what the specific character traits in this book mean to them. And I apologize beforehand, my voice was a little bit louder because I was closer to the microphone than the kids, so if I get a little loud, I apologize.
Annabelle, can you tell me about having enthusiasm?
It's being happy all the time and never being grumpy.
Very good. And Willow, what can you tell me about hard work?
Hard work is always doing work before you play. You work all the time, and working just gives you good deeds, and it helps you with life.
Very good, girls. Thank you for helping me. I appreciate it.
Friendship means to me whenever somebody doesn't have a friend, you stick up for them.
Loyalty means to me being there for somebody even through the hardest moments of their life.
Thanks, James. Hey, girls.
Hi.
So you guys are our student council president and vice president, right?
Yes.
Which one's which?
She's president and I'm vice.
Very good. Well, we thank you guys for your service. Can you tell me about cooperation and how that works with you guys on Stuco?
Cooperation is when someone is helping another person. And then, so we did like the waffles with the Grinch, and we set up the stage and served the kids, and we did the canned food drive.
Did you guys work with cooperation
Yes.
in those things? Excellent. Are you guys a fabulous team with everybody? Good. Well, we sure do appreciate all your hard work and cooperation, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, girls.
Hi.
Hi. Can you tell me about self-control? What does that mean to you?
Self-control is like when you have a little brother and he's being a pain in the butt, and you just want to yell at him and say not very nice things, but you don't get mad at him because he's just little. So
That's excellent. Thank you. Can you tell me about confidence?
say you're in a soccer game and your team is really good and you want to make a bunch of goals. You have to be confident. You have to be confident to say to your team that you can be confident to make a goal.
Excellent job. Thank you, ladies. Hi, Skylar.
Hi.
Hi. I have a positive office referral for you. Did you know you were getting a positive office referral? Yes, Miss Mannon sent the referral, and it says she's proud of you because you chose to play at recess with a pre-K student who was feeling lonely. That was really nice of you, Skylar. And when I was looking at our book study, that reminded me of the word action. Can you tell me what taking action means to you?
Be kind and play with friends.
Very good, Skylar. I appreciate you being a star student. Thank you for setting a good example, okay?
You must try and never give up. Alert means that you're focused on something that you already focused on.
Hey guys, as our Plum Creek flag crew, what does team spirit mean to you?
Teamwork.
Josh, you want to add more to that?
Flag crew is a team, and a team has more than one person to help each other out.
Very good, Mason.
The job is too big for one person, but not for multiple people to use teamwork.
Very good. Thank you, fellas. We appreciate all you do. Hey, Madison. You know we're doing our book study here at Plum Creek. When I think of the character traits in the book and I see the word poise, your face automatically pops into my head. Can you tell me what poise means to you?
Poise means to me that I always carry myself high, I'm self-confident, and I'm kind to other people.
Very great. Thank you so much, Madison.
So this is the Pyramid of Success. It is on our wall at Plum Creek, and we celebrate every Friday. We celebrate students in every classroom who are showing these character traits. In the majority of our classroom, the students in the classroom pick which student gets the recognition for their great actions. So I will end our presentation by saying thank you for allowing me to come. We took a poll with our staff. I'm probably going to get emotional. We took a poll with our staff and asked about character traits from Miss Merrick, and each and every one of these character traits was mentioned in some form or fashion. So I'm going to present this book to you with a note that says, Miss Merrick, we thank you for all your years of service to JISD. We have been so blessed by your example of what it means to be your personal best. Love, Plum Creek.
Okay, moving into recognition.
Yes, sir. Mr. Hickerson.
Okay, our first recognition is going to go out towards Nichols Middle School, and this is going to be the Life Saving Award. Officer Thomas Catron, Nurse Stacy Hoppengarden, Teacher Studi Rodriguez, Nichols Middle School student Melody Arias, and Nichols Middle School student Summer McCormick. If you'll please come to the front. On Tuesday, November 15th, 2022, two Nichols Middle School students identified as Melody and Summer observed an unresponsive female student in the girls' bathroom. The students immediately notified Ms. Rodriguez, who responded to the restroom, crawled under the stall door to unlock the door, and positioned the student on her side. Officer Thomas Catron and Nurse Stacy Hoppengartner were notified of the unresponsive student in the girls' bathroom. Both Officer Catron and Nurse Hoppengartner responded immediately and notified EMS to respond to the campus. The student was found to be unresponsive with labored breathing. Nurse Hoppengartner administered naloxone, or what is known as Narcan, which caused the student to respond. I truly believe that due to the proper training and quick response of Nurse Hoppengartner and Officer Catron, they in fact saved a human life. And we've got Lieutenant Novian is going to present your award.
There you go. Very good job. Very good job.
And now I'd like to recognize the Laughlin 8th grade A volleyball team, coached by Coach Bonnie Brooks. The Laughlin 8th grade A volleyball team placed second in Lone Star 8 district volleyball. And the 8th grade volleyball team is Caden Corey, Bryn Dodd, Kaylee Elrod, Rebecca Duran, Allie Marino, Presley Nugent, Whitney Roy, Evelyn Tate, Savannah Tamil, and Heidi Walker. You got the other group. Now we'll recognize the Joshua NJROTC rifle teams, led by Lieutenant Colonel Davidson and Master Chief Linville. Joshua's NJROTC has advanced to compete at the state level. That will be held on February 24th and 25th at Texas A&M University in College Station. The teams have attended competitions this year at Smithson Valley High School, La Vega High School, and Lehman High School, all located in the Central Texas area. Drill competitions include academics, physical fitness, personal inspection, color guard, unarmed drill regulation, unarmed drill exhibition, armed drill regulation, and armed drill exhibition. Drill team members include seniors Brandon Ellis, Austin Hill, Sean McWilliams, juniors Rylan Aguzzi, Hunter Cook, James Jackson, Garrett Weber, and Courtney Womack. Sophomores Clara Campbell, Emma Hand, and Haley Prescott. And freshmen Aiden Bohan, Rose Brown, Ashton Elliott, Brody Jackson, Colton Weber, Wyatt Weber, and Clarissa Wood. Our next recognition is our Joshua NJROTC rifle teams, led by Lieutenant Colonel Davidson. There are 700 NJROTC units worldwide, divided into 13 areas. Joshua is in Area 10, which has 68 units. After a pre-qual match in October, the 17 most competitive programs in Area 10 sent their top marksmen to Joshua, which hosted the championship from December 1st through December 3rd. Joshua marksmen simply dominated in the two competition categories of precision and sporter, placing first and second in both. Additionally, the top 8 individual shooters in each category squared off for finals on the last day of competition. 13 of the 16 finalists were Joshua marksmen. First place precision team cadets Nolan Sharp, Carter Trahan, Brooklyn Reams, and Aaron Gallagher. Second place precision teams cadets Jaron Vickers, Christian Byers, Hunter White, and Jackson Bunch. First place sporter team cadets Riley Woods, Hayden Miller, Sam Garcia, and Nathan Cato. Second place sporter team cadets Tristan Rodriguez, Alex Glenn, Aiden Wormuth, and Gavin Ross. Precision first place individual Brooklyn Reams. Precision second place individual Aaron Gallagher. Precision third place individual Jackson Bunch. And precision fourth place honorable mention Diego Farzam. Sporter second place individual cadet Alex Glenn. Sporter third place individual cadet Riley Woods. And sporter fourth place honorable mention Nathan Cato. The teams will be traveling to Sandy, Utah in February to represent Area 10 for the Navy National Championship. Let's give them a round of applause. Our next recognition is the Joshua High School Theater, led by Ms. Tabitha Lane. The Texas International Thespian Festival hosts competitions in Grapevine and San Antonio, where over 10,000 students attend workshops and compete in different areas of theater. Danny Bernard competed in the Texas-only event for props competition and was a top 8 finalist with her prop for our Shrek musical. Russell Hollins and Ava Justice competed in the monologue competition and were ranked superior, making them national qualifiers. Kennedy Boren and Jewel Bullard competed in the acting duet competition and were ranked superior, making them national qualifiers. Congratulations to these students for competing at such a high level. And the national qualifiers will compete in Indiana in June.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Our next group is our Joshua FFA Public Relations Team, led by Ms. Jillian Clark. The FFA Public Relations Team placed first at the Burleson Centennial Invitation, first at the Tarleton Invitational, and second at the Chisholm Trail Districts, and also second at the area contest, ranked in the top 24 teams in the state of Texas. Those team members include Caroline Moffitt, Macy Borison, Hunter McKenzie, Lexi Tucker, and Emery Gerald. We will have a special treat tonight as they will perform for our board.
Texas.
gaining real-life experiences.
559 students are learning about agriculture, the foundation of our nation.
559 students are learning from your leadership, personal growth, and career success through agriculture education and the FFA organization.
Hi, my name is Caroline.
I'm Hunter.
My name is Stacy.
And I'm Lexi.
And we are part of the 559.
In our community, the Joshua FFA is well known for showing animals. Many of our students participate in showing livestock, which includes deer, heifers, pigs, lambs, goats, rabbits, and chickens.
This past year, 233 of our students exhibited their projects at the county stock show, racking up a grand total of $85,000. We also had 168 of our students travel to major stock shows, including Houston, San Antonio, Austin, San Angelo, and Fort Worth.
Students, like myself, that are involved in raising livestock animals are gaining essential tools for their future outside of high school, whether that be continuing their education at a collegiate level or entering into the workforce.
That's right, Hunter. I had no idea what I was getting myself into when I started showing livestock animals. But it has taught me responsibility, dedication, hard work, and how to set goals and achieve them. I know that these are qualities that will help me contribute to my home, school, and community, and I will be able to use these in all of my future endeavors.
My showcase has taught me to be more responsible and compassionate. I learned time management, dedication, and to be selfless. I learned that I raising with animals to help feed our growing population.
Not only are we gaining incredible values and doing our part, we are also learning financial skills. We are learning how to budget our money for things like fees, pay, and medication. Also, at the end of our project, we sell our animals. Thanks to donors like Kubota, purchasing our animals at county shows, students, like myself, have been better able to prepare financially for college.
That is outstanding, Caroline. And our show team is hardworking and well known. But too often when people think of the Joshua FFA, they think we're only cows, plows, and sows. But that couldn't be further from the truth. We like to think ourselves as speakers and career seekers.
You see, it all started in 1928 when a few farm boys established the Future Farmers of America. 19 years after that, in 1947, the Joshua FFA got their very own charter.
When the Joshua FFA got its start, it was full of boys on the bus. But in 1969, the National FFA organization realized they were doing something very important to allow girls to grow.
And in 1988, the FFA changed its name from Future Farmers of America to the National FFA Organization. They recognized the growing diversity in agriculture and that students were seeking to become more than just farmers.
Since its founding, the National FFA organization has been a vital part of agricultural classroom instruction.
An agricultural education program is made up of 3 integrated parts: classroom instruction, supervised agriculture experiences, and the FFA.
The classroom instruction portion focuses on the learning that takes place inside the many classes available. Here at Joshua, we currently offer specific pathways for our students.
The classes include principles of ag, wildlife, livestock production, small animal management, vet medical application, horticulture, food technology, equine science, and agriculture facilities and design.
Taking a sequence of courses will allow students to graduate with a business and industry endorsement, which every Texas high school student needs. Students can also graduate with certification in several of the courses.
Students then apply their classroom knowledge to hands-on learning opportunities called supervised agriculture experiences, or SAEs.
There are 4 types of SAEs. One type of SAE that students can be involved in is entrepreneurship, where students own and operate an agricultural business, such as a lawn care service or growing and selling plants.
Another is placement, where students get a job or internship at an ag-based business, such as a veterinarian's office or a feed store.
Students can also conduct a research and experimentation SAE, where students plan and conduct their own scientific experiment. For example, seeing if the face of the moon affect plant growth.
Or even an exploratory SAE,
FFA member allows you to participate in leadership development events, or LDEs, career development events, or CDEs, sorry guys, and speaking development events, or SDEs.
LDEs focus on our abilities in public speaking, decision-making, communication, and our knowledge of agriculture and the FFA organization. This year, we have 31 students participating in events, including ag advocacy, public relations, radio broadcasting, senior and industry speaking, job interviews, skills, and coaching. To compete in these events, students must wear official dress, which includes an official FFA corduroy jacket. Thanks to Kubota, students can earn this jacket instead of purchasing it by reciting the FFA creed at a Kubota dealership. This allows more students to take advantage of the amazing opportunities available in the FFA.
The Joshua FFA also competes in CDEs. These events are designed to help us prepare for a career in agriculture by testing our knowledge of the subject matter. CDEs answer the question, when will I ever use this in the real world?
Our students are able to participate in wool judging, horse judging, livestock judging, meat judging, entomology, nursery and landscape, vet med, and agronomy CDEs. SDEs are another great way for our members to be involved. Similar to LDEs, these courses help our members grow in their communication and public speaking skills, as well as learning how to be more clear and concise. Here in Joshua, we have students who compete in extemporaneous public speaking, soil stewardship, junior prepared public speaking, and senior prepared public speaking.
All of these amazing opportunities are helping prepare us for our future. Thanks to generous donors like Kubota, the Joshua FFA will be able to continue opening up these opportunities for students for many years to come.
It has been said that the front of our jacket says who we are. The back of our jacket says where we are from. But nowhere does it say where we are going. Wherever that may be, the opportunities for our FFA members are endless. We will always be in the spotlight thanks to donors like Kubota and the FFA. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Great job, guys.
One more time.
Okay, we have one more special recognition. If Ms. Merrick would you step up front here? As everybody knows, Fran, this is her last meeting, and we're gonna miss her. But she's done a great job. She started in 1908. 36, was it? 33, no. 33. She's been here 33 and a half years. She started here and going to retire. You don't see that very often. And she's worked up the ladder. She started off as a teacher, became an assistant principal, a principal, a administrator in the central office, assistant superintendent, and then finally superintendent for the last 10 and a half years. And you don't see that very often. Everybody stay in one district for 10 and a half years. And she's done a lot of great things. If you look on the back of the board those flags are representative of our secondary, middle school and high school winning district academic award. Our academics here are done better than anybody. And we are proud of that, and proud of the job she's done. And she is the one that got this going. She added a lot of things to ROTC. She has supported them and has increased the participation out there. And our FFA has done a great job with that. The thing about her is that she is very loyal to Josh. She loves Josh. And it hadn't been but a few years back, she went through major surgery. Major surgery. She was laying up in the hospital. So she worried about friends. She worried about her staff and the kids. She wanted to be back. And guess what? She came back early. But guess what? That caused her problems. So she had to go back in the hospital and they had to start all over. And did another major surgery. At one time, she had over 700 stitches. And was she worried about friends? No. She worried about her staff and her kids. And that's all she would talk about. So we certainly appreciated your time you spent here. We certainly appreciate all the things she's done, and you've got quite a legacy that you left behind. We certainly appreciate it. Now, I think we got a couple of gifts for you. If you guys come on out here, by the way, I've never had to give a chance to give you one here. It's a good gift, because I know because they picked them out. And they picked the roses out. You could tell that one of you of us guys.
Thank you very much. It has been a privilege and an honor to serve with you guys and to serve this district. And it's been my home for 33 years, and it will still be my home. So thank you all. Thank you all.
Okay, this is the public forum portion of the meeting. The board encouraged comments from citizens of the district or employees. Anybody wishing to speak either as an individual or as a representative of a group may do so at this time. The board asks that comments pertain to public education issues and be no longer than 3 minutes. And the first one we got up is Trent Fielder. Trent Fielder.
forward, just can't go backwards or sideways. Good evening. Many of you may not know me, so I'll try to be short on the introduction and get back to the point. I'm grateful to a group of people who are here helping me. I'm a bit unsteady on my feet today as I stopped short of my treatments so I could attend the meeting. There are many who need to be heard. I'll hopefully share my thoughts and go back to finish my treatments. My name is Trent Fielder. I'm a resident of Joshua since October of 2019 when my wife and I moved here, built our very first home, and started the kids at Caddo. It's been such a blessing to see and experience the teachers within the community. They've given so much of themselves, as most teachers do, constantly looking for ways to enrich the lives of the youth so they see their future as bright. We have experienced firsthand how the dedication of educators flows into the lives of children, including our own. What can often be felt as an often endless job is, in fact, one that feeds the souls of those committed to it. They daily give of themselves more than they have, many holding on in their own lives while running on empty, continuing to give. Selfishly, I had thought when we moved here I'd be able to settle down a little and even watch my family thrive in Joshua as we became neighbors, and I could then focus on what my goal was moving forward. But as many of us know, sometimes God has other plans. It is perhaps the most significant reason why I do what I do, but more on that later. I've been fortunate in certainly the last 5 to 6 years of my life to be surrounded by incredible heroes. I spend a large amount of my time with military and first responders, some of whom have life-altering injuries, but it has not stopped them. They continue to find ways to serve their communities and sacrifice for others. While my children would come home with smiles almost every day, it became harder and harder to ignore that this was not the case for others we considered family and in this community. We witnessed sadness, despair, heard stories, and then, as any critical thinker should do, we started to investigate and discern that what were the experiences of others. Over time, I've watched other families suffer despite their best efforts to handle any situation or issue with both professionalism and care towards all involved. As I looked deeper, it seemed to have a common theme to it. It's a word which is the cornerstone of those who seek to serve others for pure purposes, but it's also a stain for those who seek implied power or those motives are primarily themselves. The word is accountability. Some hear that word and have a foggy or skewed idea of what it means, so let me briefly clear up any misconceptions. Accountability to self and to others at its purest form. 1, truth and the diligent search for truth amid conflict. 2, a mirror view look at motivation and the why. Next. Who's next?
A mirror view, look at motivation and why of what we do. In this case, what we should be doing is putting the children first. Courage despite the potential for those who malign themselves in their conduct. Willingness to submit ourselves to culpability. If we do wrong, we admit to it, correct it, and at no time cover up or seek to deceive others. We should never be to intimidate, collude, against or silence those seeking accountability. Those actions are the opposite of what the good goal of this body, this district, and community should be all about. If at any time someone within the district, be a teacher, counselor, administration, or board, were to commit these actions, they have directly violated the main reason of their being here, the children. Too often we are seeing around the country more and more of these conflicts where the core is accountability. One side seeks it and the other seeks to run from it. I can only pray where to see this now. It can be wiped clean, and those who do not cooperate in the whole truth find another area of their professional lives to better serve themselves. For I and most people, including those within the schools, the purpose is the children. Their well-being and progress is and should always be the target, not lies or misleading attempts to win awards for best at or most acclaimed. The truth doesn't like shadows. We are also seeing across the country a rise in depression, suicide attempts, slipping grades, and predatory behavior within schools. Predatory behavior can be categorized into several things. Bullying is also one of these. When I saw an Instagram page, one of the many, where children at a middle school were filming each other, beating up the other children, or creating their own fight clubs, it reminded me of what most parents should already know. Social media is a poison, creating monsters out of once well-intentional children. If you are not careful, social media replaces you. Are you prepared for that? Let me tell you one story of a child just 12 years old who lives in this community. He was abused and bullied from the time he was 8. He sought help as it had gone on for years. While it was not in the same environment, it involved people of implied power who ordained themselves over the child to provide what was best for their own self-serving interest. The child was threatened when wanting to speak out.
Thank you for allowing us to speak for. My name is Marty Tarver. I'm a Joshua Independent School District taxpayer. The child was threatened when wanting to speak out, both he and his family, so it continued. This child's first attempt at suicide was at age 12 to ensure it would stop. Fortunately, he was met with people who sought to help him. To put him first, he made multiple attempts over the years to ensure the pain would not continue, but to also stop the pain of what had happened. There are significant changes which need to happen at a district and county level to push a reset button and make accountability the cornerstone again. The idea of change makes people nervous, and perhaps for some in this room and for those who support them, maybe it should. It affects multiple areas and departments which, in my view, have done more to protect each other and themselves than to put the focus it has always belonged on the child. Good character is necessary in each child as it is significant to them knowing who they are as a person and who they should be to each other. It also means it should be demonstrated at the highest so-called level of this district. I watched in disgust as Terry Chumchaw, who had done nothing except fought for her child with fervor as a parent should be, was defamed by this very group with a disgusting comment. While one person made the comment, those who laughed or did nothing showed more about their character by doing nothing or participating. Stand above it and call it out when it happens, or be swallowed by the same cowardice which corrupts character in those who fail to be accountable to themselves. When I am gone from this earth, I want my children to be able to say their daddy was an advocate, a daddy who always did what was right, no matter the cost to himself. To date, I have held up that end of my promise I made to God and to my family. I will continue to do that and speak publicly on these changes. I intend to do what I feel might be lacking in many cases, and that is to lead, whether it be on this board or whether I am needed as a child who has no voice. I know the importance of giving every child one. I was told by countless people when I mentioned I had decided to speak some frankly scary things. I was told to expect further threats, disrespecting, including no eye contact from the members as they had no interest or potential backlash or retaliation on my children or family and more. There is a problem with these things. Okay. Who's next? Thank you very much for allowing us to speak for.
Corey and Arnold, I'm a taxpayer in the district. Also read for Trent. There's a problem with those things, at least in my case. I don't feel fear like I used to, and I don't get intimidated. See, I am the boy in the story. I have experienced what others who think they are powerful can do to those who feel like they have no voice. I'm sure there are ways where retaliating against my family might seem the most obvious way to silence me, but it won't. It will only allow those who choose that path to see a side of me few have, but none want to again. My children will continue to thrive. I will see to that, as I am sure those who have come to love them in the classroom and outside of it. The time I have spent with people who are like me in either disability or purpose, we have learned to fight. My job, I alluded to before, is important. I will make some roll their eyes, I am sure, but those who have experienced a life without it will know its impact. My job is hope. I share that message far and wide with sacrifice and knowing if I push a little harder to help someone, they might know hope, and then the responsibility of sharing it. It has reached people in all industries and across continents, which tell me hope is desperately needed. While it doesn't have a solid dollar paycheck, its riches are within. I've seen too many people fall to hopelessness because they have forgotten what a gift life is and where they belong in this big world. I've seen too many suicides, hospitalizations, and fear from souls that die long before the body. If we are truly to make our impact on every child's life and how important a role we make on a daily basis for them to succeed and feel hopeful about tomorrow, then the silencing has to stop. The posturing on the part of the district has to stop. The adversarial approach to parents has to stop. But it can best do that by facing the same things that can set Joshua ISD on a path to be a conduit for excellence again, accountability. I'd like to finish with one verse from the Bible that I believe stands for young and old, no matter position or belief. Hebrews 12:11. No discipline is enjoyable while it is happening. It is painful, but afterwards there will be a peaceful harvest of right living for those who are trained in this way. Thank you for allowing me to be here. I will be back. Good evening, and God bless.
Thank you very much. Okay. Next up is Georgia Head.
Good evening. Last month after the board meeting, the district posted the public comments along with their rebuttals. These are full of things that are absolutely blatantly false. Why did you as a board and as a district decide to begin publishing public comments and rebuttals to your website? At the November board meeting, I spoke about the terribly unfortunate live stream incident that the national media has now begun calling the hot mic. After my remarks, your website says, "This is untrue. Ms. Head is making a statement not based on facts because there is no video recording at this time, only an audio recording." This is amusing because the entire nation has been provided with a video which shows exactly what I stated to be 100% true. Why would you say I'm not being truthful when you've all seen the video with your own eyes? The next quote by the district is, "It is true that there is laughing on the video, but it is untrue that there was laughing at any parents. It is untrue that a board member mocked parents." I don't know what the author of this rebuttal considers to be making fun of and mocking, but an administrator laughing while saying, "I'm not reaching out to those people," and a board meeting stating, "Yeah, I'll tell her right where she can put it," is not exactly pleasant conversation about others. Laughter erupted, and many in the room were laughing and creating merriment in the moment. Isn't this exactly what most people call making fun of others? Isn't this called mocking? It's sad, and to think it's all on video and audio, and it's been shared with the entire nation. But the district says I'm not being truthful. During the Parents Level 3 grievance hearing on this matter, the board and administration agreed to remove the video and audio, but agreed to no more retaliation, but absolutely refused to apologize. What kind of people refuse to apologize when they are caught doing something so egregiously wrong? I'm asking a hard question of each one of you. I'm switching gears to another incident. We have received the signed statements from the multitude of JISD employees who were present at the Level 3 grievance hearings during the school day on November the 28th. These statements confirm multiple TOMA, Texas Open Meetings Act, violations. We now have that in writing and signed by employees. Also, it is noted that some of the statements are not accurate, as can be proved by cell phone video and body-worn camera video from the officer in attendance. Why would a principal write a statement about something she did not witness? More and more parents, families, and teachers are reaching out to us. No child should ever feel afraid to go to school, and no teacher should ever be in constant fear of losing their job. Those of you who have been defending this district's actions while they are sweeping problems under the rug, just know that when that rug is pulled out from under you, you can choose to either become a part of the solution or a part of the problem.
Next is April Garvin.
$1.1 million students across the state of Texas got up this morning feeling terrified, demoralized, and begging to not go to school. How was your morning? Like many others, I am shocked and appalled by the events that continue to play out in this district. Daily, I get stories in my inbox of bullying, harassments, assaults, and even sexual assaults happening at our schools. When I was a helicopter mechanic, we had a saying, "The warnings written in the maintenance manual are written in the blood by the people that came before us." This was to help stress the magnitude of the responsibility that we carried. Being complacent, even in the smallest of ways, could cause the death of somebody. Just like those maintenance manuals, these laws and policies surrounding bullying prevention are written in the blood of the students and teachers that have been hurt or even lost their lives. You may think that's a bit dramatic, but this is the world that we live in today. Every decision you make, you have to approach it with the reverence that it deserves. You cannot dismiss these policies as an unnecessary inconvenience, and you cannot hide behind lawyers who manipulate the language of the law to obfuscate the responsibility of the district. You cannot continue to put the district's reputation above the safety of the students and the teachers. As I stand here today at this podium, stained by the tears of the parents who pleaded with you to do something, to hold those that are responsible accountable for their actions, I can't help but wonder if you really truly know what's going on in your own district. How accessible are you to the people that are not inside your personal circles? We have seen how you've reacted to, quote, outsiders trying to talk with you by blocking them with lawyers and criminal trespass warnings. But I've also seen the same reaction to the people in your own community. Your own neighbors have been retaliated against, gaslit, and isolated by turning them into the enemy. This has been turned into a you versus us situation. When the focus should always be on the children and what's best for them. I would like to end this by asking just a few questions, and I look forward to seeing your responses on the Joshua ISD website. If bullying prevention is a top priority, then why on earth would you not be keeping track of the number of bullying reports and incidents happening on each campus? Why are school board members trained to change their votes to match the decision of the majority? And lastly, why were principals and admins at grievance hearings on November 28th when they've not gone to any previous level 3 hearings that were open to public? Thank you.
Okay, Diane Moon.
He's very festive over here. Makes it hard to talk. My name is Diane Moon. I'm an RN, a grandmother, a mother, and a Texas guardian, Texas State Guardian. The reason I'm here is because I am a grandmother today. Never thought that I would have the opportunity to stand up and have to speak for what I see as some issues. Fran, congratulations. I can talk, really. On your retirement, I tried to retire. I've been a nurse for 50 years, retired once, retired twice. But the reason, again, I'm here is just because of my concern and some of the reactions. I'm not sure I understand what's going on. I'm not sure that I understand as a grandmother and someone that's experienced some stuff that's not very good, what has happened to the focus of the kids. I've attended a couple of these, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's real political. I can tell. But the issue is, what about the kids? You know, as a nurse, I competed with the teachers for a long time because, you know, we all want to say, well, you guys get off 3 months for the thing, and I have to work all weekends and, you know, those kinds of things. But I'll tell you, I wouldn't have their job, nor would they probably want mine. So I don't understand. My biggest concern about all of this is the mental health that these kids are experiencing. My biggest issue, being a nurse and being a concerned person, is when something occurs, there are some of us that are required reporters. I am a required reporter. And then I have to tell you the story I hear about the child that his eardrum was burst. That's assault. That's not a bullying incident. But you know what that's going to result in? And this is what scares me to death. It is the fact that when people are bullied, and when these kids are bullied, and no one's there to support them, they go back to a school, and unfortunately, we've seen things that have happened that have never happened before. I never thought I'd see and be scared for my grandchildren to go to school, that someone could come into the school. Okay, well, just to say they come into the school and shoot somebody. I got it.
You got that. Terry Chumchow.
Hello, good evening, board members. My question is, how did we get here? How did we get to the point where multiple national media outlets are reaching out to us, asking us about the horrendous issues that we have faced here in Joshua ISD? How do we get to the point where people are coming out of the woodworks to share the most heartbreaking experiences with this district administration, but they have remained silent due to retaliation? We are here because you all failed. You failed to listen, lead, and be role models to the people who needed you the most. You failed to take responsibility, failed to value children, failed to seek solutions, or even desire to seek them, and this is all on you. You surrendered your vote to the authority of paid outside entities like Leeser and Crass, who gain from your failure. Our group has been here presenting, asking for help, pleading for a year. We have shown you specific issues in this district, and you have stayed silent. Your silence was an answer, and it was loud and clear. You have buried your head in the sand and did whatever this district administration and Leeser and Crass have told you to do. You have failed this community. You refuse to listen. You refuse to see us, and you refuse to represent us. You mocked us and attempted to turn us into the villains of this community for simply advocating for our children. You took an oath to serve this community, so you need to do it. Serving the community also means the people who bring you concerns, not just your friends and the people that just say JISD is the best, nothing's wrong. There's more than that. Martin Luther King Jr. said the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Where have you stood during these challenges? Silent is where you have stood. You have had every chance to take these opportunities and make real change, and you have not done that. And this is what accountability looks like. Your time to hide behind the district administration and Leeser and Crass is over. The community is awake, the community is paying attention, and the community heard you. We may not be lifelong community members, and we may not be part of the JISD clique, but we still deserve to be here, and we will continue to be vocal about the issues in this district. We will use every remedy available to make you operate transparently and according to the law. We will continue to advocate for our children and yours, and we will continue to listen to those families who have been hurt, continue to be hurt, and ignored by this district. We will continue to bring forth the egregious abuse hidden by this district. So board members, your time is up. I think it's time for you all to step down so we can get representatives who will actually listen to and represent all of us. Thank you.
Mark Jumto.
All right, good evening. On November 18th, JISD posted to their Facebook with answers to the public forum comments from the November 14th school board meeting. So now that the community knows that you are answering some questions, I have a few for you. Number one, during our November 28th grievance, why did the entire board unanimously vote to deny my family an apology, yet granted the removal of the hot mic? During the same grievance on November 28th, why did JISD have 20 to 30 school principals and staff members sitting in on a grievance from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. that had nothing to do with them? This has never been the case in the past, so why did JISD use taxpayer money to fund 100 to 150 hours of pay for educators to sit here and help intimidate the grieved families? Number three, who instructed these employees to be here? These individuals had to, one, know about the grievance, two, get authorization to leave their campus, and three, be told when to be there. This seems like more retaliation against our family and others who are trying to follow your own policies. So number four, do the board members understand that you are all in control? You can make decisions and policy changes. You don't have to hide behind the superintendent and Leeser and Crass. Do you understand that? And number five, you all seem very scared to speak out in open session, and you make every single decision behind closed doors. Are you also facing retaliation from the district administration like we and many others are? I would also like to point out that a community is not made up of only your friends, family, and big donors. It's all taxpayers. I love that you all seem to have been grown up in Joshua and are connected in some way, but the hard reality is y'all are now the slim majority, and growth is inevitable. Your lack of actions are seriously affecting children, teachers, and parents. These are real human beings. Do you all seriously need another suicide in this district to open your eyes? If it is too hard for you to do the right thing, then you all need to step down immediately. And finally, Fran, I would like for you to answer this question. How can you be patted on the shoulder by a parent advocate and that warrants a criminal trespass warrant, but my son is able to be tortured for his Korean heritage, being tackled and body slammed, eardrum busted, choked multiple times, a bus driver bullying him, being stabbed, not poked, but stabbed in the leg with a pencil, and his side being cut open with a metal ruler. You say that's horseplay. That's not, that is bullying. That is assault, not horseplay. And you hide behind these laws, claiming that you're scared of a parent advocate who touched you on the arm.
Italia Cruz. Italia Cruz.
Can I move this a little bit down because I'm short? Italia Cruz, mother of 3. Ever since I moved to the Metroplex, I would hear Joshua was the best district in the area, and I actually believed it. Now I know you have that reputation because you're experts in brushing everything under the rug. Well, that false narrative, it no longer exists. All the criminal acts you've done towards children, parents, and advocates is spreading like wildfire. How can you sleep at night knowing that you filed trespassing charges on an advocate, knowing that she meant absolutely no harm? I want to take a few minutes to breathe because I don't have much to say, so. How can you sit there knowing that one day your own children will know how tyrannical and heartless you are? Everything is spreading on the internet, and the internet is forever. Heck, you even made it on Fox. How dare you ask for $7,000 for public records? You've taken advantage not only of the parents, but the children, teachers, and everybody that serves Joshua ISD. You've given Joshua ISD a bad name, and my goal for 2023 is to keep spreading how corrupt and evil you are to those who believe Joshua is the place to be. I will continue to spread awareness about how despicable you truly are. You've proven time and time again that you do not have the best interest of our students. It's all on video. The proof is more than clear. The veil has been uncovered, and I pray to God that he has mercy on your souls for how you've mistreated concerned parents who are simply advocating for their students. Shame on you.
Josh Burns, next.
Good evening. I am proud of Joshua ISD, and I thank you for your job. Congratulations, Ms. Merrick. I am excited for you, as I told you last week. I greatly appreciate your service and your commitment to this district for 33 years. As a parent, as a pastor, as a spouse of a Joshua ISD employee, I have watched you lead. Your leadership was visionary in nature, always preparing for the future of this district. Your leadership displayed humility, never asking anyone to do something that you weren't willing to do. Your leadership exemplifies fairness, even in the midst of difficult, unpopular decisions. Your leadership modeled excellence. Fran, you are a lady who knows your identity and your purpose. You are a lady whose commitment and your work ethic tower above anyone else I know, even myself. A lady with integrity. I wish you the very best in your new adventures, and I pray this over you. Lord, we give you thanks for the tremendous blessing that has come from the work of this, your servant's hands. Thank you that you still anoint and use us always in all seasons. We pray that this would be a new beginning for Fran. May your hope arise and your vision be your guide. May a new rhythm emerge, one that forms a beautiful balance between rest and life engagement. And now, Lord, we ask your blessing upon Fran and her family. May there be good health, joy in abundance, and peace in heart and mind from this day forward and each day that follows. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Katie Reams.
Hi, good evening. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the board and Ms. Merrick for approving the state-of-the-art rifle range in 2019. Y'all just saw the fruit of that decision. 5 to 6 years ago, I talked to Colonel today, Colonel Davidson, and he gave me some information. He said 5 to 6 years ago, the Navy began promising a new range for the NJROTC program. Every year, something would come up with the Navy that delayed that happening. Colonel Davidson said in October 2019, Ms. Merrick came to him and asked for the cost and presented it to the board for approval. By Christmas, the program had the Olympic-grade digital air rifle range. The team shot 3 national records the first year. After the school board supported the team and approved this investment into the rifle team, the Navy paid the cost back by the end of 2020, resulting in the district being out $0, but the board chose to make the investment without any expectation of monetary reimbursement. The new range has provided more quality practice time and efficiency because they're not changing out paper targets in between cadets shooting. Prior to 2019, the team had a paper target shooting range. Since this new range was installed, 8 athletes have qualified to compete in the National Junior Olympics. In total, since 2012, there have been 20 National Junior Olympic qualifiers, my daughter included. Whether you're asking Wounded Warrior Joey Jones, Senator Birdwell, Congressman Williams, Allen West, Ross Perot, have all experienced in some level Joshua ISD's NJROTC program in some form. They have all said this district really does it right, and I agree. Just to give some people in the room some Air Rifle 101, because I am a new rifle mom and learning about this. What is truly incredible about the rifle program is these athletes are shooting open sight air rifles that weigh just over 9 pounds. They shoot 10 meters away, so approximately 33 feet, so probably from me to Zoe. They are shooting a target the size of a quarter. 33 feet away, open sights, no scope. The bullseye is the size of a Sharpie dot. Most people can't see a Sharpie dot 33 feet away. The accuracy that they have to shoot with the pellet of 1.77 millimeter is truly incredible when you grasp the skills of the precision and the sporter teams. Thank you, board, and thank you, Ms. Merrick, for investing into the NJROTC program and every program in this district. My children are just 3 children who reap the fruits of the labor and time that you have invested. Thank you for the sacrifices you make as unpaid servants.
And Ms. Julie Poole.
Okay, 3 minutes. That's very tough for me. But I'm just here tonight, Ms. Merrick, to bid you farewell. And what Mr. Galbraith said regarding your 33 years, I mean, truly, it is legacy time here in Joshua that you have left here for us. So thank you so much for everything that you have done. And I have a story, and I don't even know if you remember this or not, but you probably don't. You were assistant, I think it was when you were assistant superintendent. And I'm not from Joshua or from here, so I have one relative here, but I made friends with all of you people. Some of you are, well, some of you are, we're friends. Anyway, so I didn't have a lot of friends in the area, and I had young children, and I was a young working mom. And we were trying to build our business here, and it was just a hard, stressful time. And and Miss Green might remember this because we were at Plum Creek, and I was having a really hard time getting my child to school on time. And yes, and let me just tell you what happened. I received a phone call, which you don't want to receive, from the assistant superintendent, and who is looking at your transfer paperwork, because at the time we were transfer students. We were trying so hard to move into Joshua ISD, and you, Ms. Merrick, called me and said, I need to discuss this with you, and I need to tell you what the rules are and how this could affect your children, and what's going on. Was kind of the question that you asked me, and I had no excuse, whatsoever, except for the fact that I was stressed out and I was busy and I was tired, and it was just that phase of my life that I was in. And though there were boundaries, that you had to set because the rules were the rules, and I certainly didn't want to lose our transfer spot at that time, and it didn't stay a problem with me. Now, I'm late in general, period, but not with the children getting to school anymore. Like, we nipped that in the bud at that time. But I just know that, in larger districts and things like that, you didn't know me from Adam, but just the way that you handled that situation and the way that you dealt with it with me, I just appreciate. And that was just one very little sign of your leadership. I then was very blessed over the years after that, as I did start volunteering and, trying to get into the schools and see where I could help or see where I could serve, because everything with me is always about the kids. I was just blessed that you let us have, our PTSO wanted to have a clothing store, and you found us a space so that we could collect used clothes from the community and we could give them to people that, needed them. And now the ROTC program has taken that program over, but you gave us the space. You gave us the space and then gave us like a smaller space and then like a little bit smaller space because there is no more space. So at that time, you honestly came to me and told me that. So congratulations.
Okay, that's it for the public comments. We move into subject A, consider consent agenda items.
Do you have another one over there?
Here it is.
Okay.
There's not though, sorry.
Oh, that other one. Okay.
Congratulations on your retirement, and thank you for your service. I stand here today on behalf of every single child in this district who has taken their life, on behalf of every child in this district who has attempted or thought about it, one being my own son. For those students that are confused, scared, frustrated, hopeless, who are broken inside and feel the only way they can be heard is school massacres. On behalf of every teacher, principal, administrator that has been retaliated against for escalating issues to you and are now terrified of losing their jobs if they say anything else, who feel disposable or questioning their career choice, for those that are forced to resign and the district failing them, for all families who have suffered or left this district because they became weak from fighting a corrupt system, for administration who feel they can't do anything to help because of broken policies, legislation, and systems. And even standing here today for those board members who are confused, torn, and also questioning their choice to serve. It is so vividly clear why we have issues. You're too busy working against us to solve anything. My questions to you today, and yes, I look forward to your response on the JISD website. Number one, what have you personally done to address the bullying concerns in this district after the April 2022 survey, the one where 70% of respondents said more needs to be done about bullying, and 30% said they've been bullied by teachers or administrators. And don't say the Higher Heights Committee, because we have the agendas, minutes, and emails, and one parent has obviously been that sole contributor. Number two, are each of you personally aware of the assaults, some that are sexual, that are happening on JISD campuses? And number three, and most importantly, please tell me how you can issue a criminal trespass warning to our family advocate after she patted the superintendent on the arm. We have the footage. Yet our son was hit in the head so hard it led to a concussion, hit in the head again 3 weeks after that, rammed in the hallway multiple times, rocks were thrown at him, he was punched 4 times and bruised, he was sexually harassed multiple times, and a student offered money to other students to hurt him. And you didn't even write a police report nor show us the videos of these. Please explain how any of this makes sense. We are supposed to give willingly and wholeheartedly of our time and talents, and that willingness to give brings joy, and that joy spreads and promotes a community of love, happiness, and compassion. I have joy in what I'm doing because I help the brokenhearted and hopeless. And if what I'm doing saves just one child's life, then I'm fulfilling my life's purpose that God has assigned. I can promise you that each of us that are standing up to fight these issues are soaring on wings like eagles. We will run and not grow weary. We will walk and not be faint. Blessed are those who hear the word of God and obey it. We will not stop until all in Joshua that I mentioned at the beginning are well taken care of and valued instead of silenced. Thank you.
Ms. Arredondo, thank you for, these gifts are from Ms. Arredondo. Thank you, and thank you for your gift.
Okay,
Okay, I think that's all.
is that it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, subject A, consider consent agenda items.
Okay, I'll get to that. You've got the consent agenda items. We reviewed those. You've got the minutes from November 14th, November 28th, and December 7th. We don't have any budget amendments for this meeting. We do have, we did review the accounts payable and our check registry and our purchases over $50,000. Ms. Metzger?
We just have one purchase over $50,000. This is for Hill College for our spring 2023 tuition for our associate's degree in dual credit programs. It's for $61,305.
My recommendation is that you approve the consent agenda items from subject A as presented.
Motion by Ms. Pruitt, do I hear a second? Second by Mr. Hunter. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor? 6-0. Subject B, consider interlocal agreement with Region 10 Educational Service Center for the multi-region purchasing cooperative for school year 22-23.
Okay. Mr. Hickerson, would you stand up and present that, please?
Yeah, so this is the interlocal agreement for child nutrition cooperative purchasing and commodity processing program. The goal of, obviously, the cooperative is to offer member districts such as ourselves savings on specific commercial food items, non-food items, and USDA commodity process items. And so this will allow us volume purchasing and allow us to save more money than bidding as a single district.
My recommendation is that you approve the Region 10 interlocal agreement.
Do I hear a motion?
I move we approve agenda item B as presented.
Motion by Mr. Lawson. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Wilson. Any further discussion or question? All in favor? 6-0. Subject C, consider adoption of the JISD T-test appraisers for the 2022-23 school year.
Okay, so you approved these in August, but we've added an assistant principal to Laughlin, Mr. Kyle Smoke, and so we've added him to the list, so I'm asking that you approve this list with his name on it now. My recommendation is that you approve this JISD appraiser list for the 22-23 school year for T-test.
Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Kevin Lee. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Lawson. Any further discussion or question? All in favor? 6-0. Subject D, consider resolution of the board to convene this district's School Health Advisory Council, SHAC, to recommend curriculum materials for the for the prevention of child abuse, family violence, dating violence, and sex trafficking.
Okay, Mr. Nickerson.
Okay, so we had the recent adoption of our health TEKS, which made several changes to obviously this process and how school boards would adopt the sex education curriculum. So with that, we're asking you to approve a resolution that would allow the SHAC, the School Health Advisory Council, to make recommendations, discuss that recommendations. The resolution will allow for 2 public meetings, and then after those public meetings are made, then the SHAC would make that recommendation in regards to curriculum materials for prevention of child abuse, family violence, dating violence, and sex trafficking.
So my recommendation is that you approve this resolution of the board to convene the District School Health Advisory Council.
I make a motion we approve the resolution.
Motion by Ms. Pruitt. Do I hear a second?
Second.
second by Mr. Hunter Byrd. Any further discussion or question? All in favor? 6-0. Subject E, consider revision to policy FFAC local wellness and health services medical tree.
Okay, Mr. Hicks.
Okay, current policy right now has where our nurses would administer herbal or dietary supplements to children. That proposes a challenge, obviously, to our nurses, as they're not allowed to administer any non-FDA approved or regulated medications. And so making this revision will just remove that line as far as administering herbal and dietary supplements, thus wouldn't cause any impact to the licensing of that nurse.
Okay. My recommendation is that you approve the revisions to the JISD policy FFAC local.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
I move we approve agenda item E as presented.
Motion by Mr. Lawson. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Kevin Lee. Any further discussion or question? All in favor? 6-0. Subject F, consider revision to 2022-2023 compensation plan.
Okay, the revision that we are asking that you add to the compensation plan is to add a coordinator of communications and public relations at the administrative pay grade 4.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion we approve subject F as presented.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Wilson, seconded by Ms. Pruitt. Any further discussion or question? All in favor? 6-0. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, at this time, the board will convene in closed session to discuss items authorized by the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code Sections 551001 through 551.084. Time is executive session at 9:50. Ms. Merrick, you got a recommendation?
Yes, sir, I do. I would like to recommend that you hire Angela Clayton as compensation coordinator for the district.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Pruitt, there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hunter. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
6-0.
That's all I have.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Oh.
Second.
I make a motion that Fran comes back and be our pledge of allegiance at our next.
Okay.
See you in January.
I'll
Okay.
second that.
Second.
Okay,
Celebrity.
okay.
Motion by Ms. Pruitt to adjourn. Anybody else got a second?
Second.
Yeah,
Second by Kevin.
yeah.
Kaylee?